is the Fade 5 podcast with Brad Evans and Nate Lundy.
Place your bets, you tech wagons. Brad the Big Noise Evans here, joined by the good son, Nathaniel Lundy. 'Tis indeed another rockin' and rollin' Friday edition of the Fade 5 main slate of Week 1. The NFL season is already underway, or about to be underway. We got a Friday night game down in Brazil. We're going to be doing the Samba. But first of all, we got tickets in hand. Let's go ahead and hop aboard the Honk Plus bus. And you know how this thing works. We got tickets in hand. Our butts are plopped down on the seats. Plus 100 odds or greater, mi amigo. You got your pick. So grab a plate. It's like a buffet of sports betting goodness. What do you got for me on that Friday?
Well, first of all, Brad, where's the weirdest place you've ever seen somebody do the walk of shame?
Oh, the weirdest place?
Where's the weirdest place?
Right down my street in a residential neighborhood in Champaign, Illinois.
Okay. This morning, I'm pretty sure I saw it at the post office.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got letters and packages that need to go out.
This lady was in there, and I'm not exaggerating, folks. The pants were kind of sagging to the point where the thong was sticking out.
Yeah.
It was bad, and I was like, did you just come rolling out of God knows where? And you were like, you know what? I need some stamps. So anyway, I just had to throw that out there. Y'all take that visual wherever the heck you want it to go. Brad, what did I tell you on yesterday's podcast? I said, how in the world are the total bases for Kyle Schwarber at plus odds?
What did he do last night? I was lost in the NFL world. Did he go yard yet again?
No, he had one hit, but it was a double.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Guess what? DK took it from 110 to 145.
Oh, goodness gracious, you're gotta be kidding me.
So I'm betting it again, folks. I'm sorry. Until he has a bad game, I'm going to keep doing it. Yes, he's on the road, but hello, Miami Marlins, because that is who he gets a chance to take on. I was giving you some of the numbers yesterday on a few of the hitters that we were talking about. He's got Edward Cabrera on the bump for the Marlins. According to the hyphen, batters-box.com, fastball matchup rate 45.5 for Mr. Schwarber in terms of this evening's matchup. So I'm sorry. Let's see. Yesterday, plus 110, and I told you we were going to play that. He obviously didn't go yard, but I told you we were going to play it because if you're going to give me total bags on a dude that is just raking right now, I'm going to take it. And now DK has decided to bump it up another 35 cents. Wow. Yes, please.
Yeah, all diggity day long. Go with Schwarbs. All that over plus 145. That's downright ridiculous. What's also downright ridiculous is that you can get Jalen hurt so good. Come on, Jalen, make it hurt so good. Plus money right now, the anytime touchdown market. The only book that has it, the Tape Time FanDuel Sportsbook at an even Steven plus 100 juice. I actually grabbed it when this line came out earlier in the week at BetMGM at plus 130. So it's come cascading down as expected, as it should be, minus money virtually everywhere. So you might want to go ahead and lock and load this before that sexy price evaporates into thin air. And I think he is going to find the end zone down in Brazil tonight in the matchup against the Green Bay Packers. Look at Jalen Hurts. Last season, numero uno in total rush attempts among quarterbacks. Numero uno in total red zone rush attempts among quarterbacks with 44, averaging 2.6 per game. Numero uno in rushing touchdowns with 15. The offensive line, though a certain Kelsey, the one you're not thinking of, is in retirement, still making a ton of money. Thanks, Wondery, for that opportunity. They are still they're trying out a top 10 offensive line unit. They're going to be shoving dudes all over the place. I know Green Bay has made some upgrades on defensive line. Last season, they finished a miserable number 22 in rush EPA defense. But Mike Clay, my buddy at ESPN's got it projected to have the 8th best interior line in the National Football League. But you know what's going to happen. I think A.J. Brown is going to catch a bomb, going to get tackled at the 1 or 2 yard line. Hurts going to come in. It's still a legal play, and the brotherly shove will be underway. He splashes 6 as he scoots into the end zone, and we're cashing in at plus 100 on the Hurt So Good. Come on, Jalen, make it hurt so good. Anytime touchdown there at FanDuel Sportsbook. With those bets on the board, let's get after it with a Friday edition of the Fade 5.
Number 5.
All right, numero cinco on the countdown today. All NFL all the time. I will feature a college cash in bonus time, and might be slightly biased, but I will explain. I'm certainly biased on this one because I really truly believe it's going to hit. Hopefully, it's got to do me dirty or wrong. It's no guarantee. It's no lock. Those do not exist in gambling, and I am not going to say, trust me. Okay, because trust flies out the window when you're dealing with the unpredictability of sports betting. But I do like this one. It's a strong lean, and it is on my always free and always public spreadsheet. Justin Jefferson, 90 or more receiving yards against the G-Men on the road, and the odds have come up. I grabbed it at plus 110 at DraftKings a couple of days ago. It's a nickel. To plus 115, and I might triple, quadruple down on it because I love this wager so much. Why? It's the Giants. They're going to be rubbish the entire season. I think the secondary might be a little bit better than advertised, but you look at the unit overall. He's going to see a lot of Deonte Banks in coverage. In 15 games last season for New York, 84.7 passer rating allowed, 12.2 yards per reception, and 57.6 catch percentage. Again, those are not terrible numbers by any stretch of the imagination, but you got an all-world receiver in JJ, who I believe is going to be dynamite in this one because Sam Darnold actually twirls a decent deep ball. Jefferson, remember, he was limited by injuries last year, but he did go over 90 yards in a game in 5 of 10 contests. He averaged a robust 10 targets flat per game. He was number 10 in air yards percentage, modest number 28 8 to 12.6, but number 4 in yards per route run and number 6 in yards per target, and averaged 15.8 yards per reception. A guy that certainly is a field stretcher and accumulator as well. So given the plus matchup, though I'm showing some respect to Deonte Banks based on the production he posted last year. I just think Jefferson is too damn talented, too damn good, has those superior separation skills, gets to 90 or more yards on what could be 12 to 15 targets in the opener. So I go for 90 or more receiving yards in New York, taking a bite out of the Big Apple, plus 115 at DraftKings. Good, sir. Numero cinco, fade or follow.
Don't you feel like they're going to try to force feed him a little bit without Cousins being there?
Yeah, and again, Sam Darnold ain't too shabby.
No, he's not. I'm okay with Darnold being in there, and I think he might actually surprise some people in terms of the numbers that he can put up. But I also think you got to work really hard to make sure that you keep JJ happy. That's what I think. And so if that's going to be the case, I think they try to make sure that they're looking his way, not necessarily totally forced. I think Darnold's smart enough to not do that, but I do think from a play calling standpoint, they are going to want to make sure that they still keep one of the best wide receivers in the National Football League happy. Otherwise, we start to get some disgruntled things happening up in the land of 10,000 lakes, and he winds up getting shipped out by the deadline.
Yeah, make that gringo ear to ear. Feed the damn ball, Sam Darnold, to your number one wideout so we can cash a plus money.
Number 4.
Numero quattro here on the Feed at 5, Friday edition of the Countdown. Let's pull the Mustang out of the garage and rev the engine. And that's exactly what's going to happen for Jerome Ford of the Cleveland Browns. Give me the over, baby, on just 49.5 rush yards against the Dallas Cowboys. Please and thank you at a minus 114 juice there at FanDuel Sportsbook. Remember, the Chubb Club is still closed for renovations. He's on the pup list, and we're not going to see him for the next several weeks. Right now, it's likely going to be a little bit of Pierre Strong working behind Ford, maybe seeing Deonta Foreman as well, but the line share of the touches could be upwards of 75% or more of the opportunity share is going to be ball to the belly of Jerome Ford, who was quite good last season. In 9 games in which he registered at least 12 rush attempts, he went over this number 5 times, Lundy. Averaged 2.93 yards at the contact per attempt. On the scoff out there. He was top 15 in total missed tackles forced, according to PFF, with 43 in that category, and a respectable number 20 in yards created per touch. You know that Kevin Stefanski loves to run the pigskin because he's got a stellar offensive line. No doubt, in my estimation, a top 5 overall unit. And a team that ran the ball nearly 44% of the time a season ago. And you look at the opponent. Okay, it's the Dallas Cowboys. You might say, well, they got Micah Parsons. Well, off the edge, they're hard to contain. But on the interior part of that line, very sketchy. ESPN's Mike Clay's got the interior line of Dallas on defense projected at number 24. So the 8th worst in the NFL. The linebacker core at number 25 as well. The strength is on the back end defensively for that team. And given how questionable really Deshaun Watson has been throughout training camp and a little bit of action there in the preseason, I think Jerome Ford, this could be like a 17, 18 carry kind of game through sheer attrition. He gets over 49.5 rushing yards against Dallas at home by the lake, minus 114 at FanDuel. Good sir, fade or follow.
Yeah, unfortunately, no Chubb Club for us, which is disappointing. I want to see him get back out there on the field. He's a lot of fun.
He's busy on the squat rack, Lundy.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's fun to watch. But I think Ford can do that. This feels like too low of a number, but that also gets me. Look, I talked about this a little bit yesterday on the pod, and I said, look, notoriously week 1 is tough. It's tough on us from a betting standpoint because you get some unpredictability in terms of usage, snap share, etc. I told you weren't going to see Samaje Perine, Brad. But
hey, he had a catch and he had a drop in the game. Unfortunately, Isaiah Pacheco had that drop early on. It came back and haunted us.
Yes, of course it did. And so did 4 yards. If you follow me on Twitter/X, 4 yards for Derrick Henry. That's what kept us from a plus 775 SGP last night, folks. I shared that with you. I said, if you want to get weird with me, and we built it at BetMGM, and we missed it by 4 yards. So, yeah, I was actually kind of begging for that game to go to overtime because I was hoping he was going to get a couple more carries. But I digress. This feels too low, but that's also part of where I've got myself a little bit skeptical of the odds makers that maybe they know something that we don't. I want to play the over on this one, so I'm going to follow, but I'm a little bit nervous as to why this is as low as it is.
Vroom, vroom, rev it with Jerome Ford.
Number 3.
Numero Tres here on the Fade 5 countdown. Let's go to another under-the-radar running back, and this one for the Las Vegas Raiders, and that is Zamir White. I'm going to go over on all nickels, 55.5 rush yards, taking on Jim Harbaugh's L.A. Chargers, minus 114 juice there at FanDuel Sportsbook. Again, another puzzling number that I feel is just way too low when I say take advantage of the soft line in my estimation. I did earlier in the week. I grabbed it at 51.5, and it's already crept up 4 yards. I wouldn't be surprised by kickoff Lundy if it's approaching 60. Where really it's that's where it should be. Look at what Zamir White did over the final 4 games of the regular season last year, weeks 15 through 18. He went 69 yards in the ground, 145, 71, and 112. He got 17 rush attempts in every single one of those last 4 contests. Who was his coach then? Antonio Pierce. Who's the coach now on the sidelines full-time? Antonio Pierce. So Pierce is going to feed the man early and often. Appreciable number 13 in yards after contact per attempt last season, 3.21. Yeah, he only forced 15 missed tackles on 104 rush attempts. Yeah, he was only number 30 in yards created per touch, but I believe he's going to be running behind a top half offensive line. And most importantly, Lundy, again, my buddy Mike Clay, he knows things. He understands the personnel packages better than anybody. He ranks the Chargers dead last in the NFL in interior line defense entering the regular season. The linebacker core second to last, according to Clay as well. They're strong off the edge. Got Nick Bosa there. So you put it all together. I think Zamir White on roughly 15 to 20 rush attempts in this one cruises past 55.5 and early bonus time, Lundy. If you are buying what I am selling, 75 or more rush yards for Zamir White in the alt market at BetMGM, plus 240. But on my original line, over 55.5 rush yards. Pull this from FanDuel against the unplugged Chargers, minus 114. Fade or follow.
This is going to be a 3 yards in a cloud of dust game on Sunday, people. It's good. Like this game might take 2 hours and 20 minutes. The clock may just keep going. Seriously, I think that's what's going to happen here. I think we're going to be seeing them run and run. So I like this, but I also really like your idea of taking the ladder and bumping him up to 70 or 75, depending upon your book, and taking some additional plus odds. So go full unit on this one. I do think this number is too low. Again, scratching my head a little bit, but we did see what Antonio Pierce did last year in terms of running the ball. And I think it's worth a ladder play as well. I think you bump this one up and take an opportunity for him to eclipse at least 70. Take the plus odds.
Natron Means versus Bo Jackson might have that kind of vibe to it, old school to say the least. Hey, if you want some more sports betting action, maybe got some fantasy football questions, go to thegamingjuice.com right now. My content lives there. Ben Wittenstein and Nate Jacobson, they've already rolled out, I think, like 5 or 6 college football game preview pieces, and they're all for free to pay a single dime. Lundy's picks live there as well. All kinds of content. I got my Friday night picks, my favorite player prop, along with an SGP breakdown as well. My top props column is going to be posting a little bit later today on this Friday. We're going to have some content on Sunday. New content every stinking day to help you boost the bankroll and hopefully survive in advance week to week in fantasy football land. Go to thegamingjuice.com right now. It's free to sign up, and all of our content is 100% free. So click, converse, and cash. ... Maybe.
Number 2.
All right, numero dos here on the Fade 5 countdown. Bear down, Chicago Bears. Ba 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 ba. Well, Lenny hates when I sing that song as a Denver Broncos fan. But let's be real here. DeAndre Swift, there are so many low threshold lines, it seems like to me, in the running back market this weekend. We're not talking about brand name guys. We're looking at that second and third tier. You know, we already mentioned Jerome Ford. We mentioned Zamir White. And here's DeAndre Swift as well. I'm taking the over 43.5 rush yards against the Tennessee Titans at a minus 115 juice there at BetMGM. Lundy, this opened at 49.5 and has come tumbling down the mountainside. I would have played at 49.5, quite honestly. So even at 43.5, it's an even better value. And it's still a very viable juice. So not, really skyrocketed in that category. I look at DeAndre Swift, and granted, he was with Philadelphia last year, but he went over this number in 11 to 16 games. Sure, he was only number 54 in yards after contact per attempt. Went unsightly 2.42 in that category, but he was top 15 in total missed tackles for. So what does that tell you? He's got the elusiveness. He's got the shimmy. He's got the shake to break away some chunk gain runs. A guy that is probably going to have roughly the same opportunity share he had in the city of brotherly love. That was around 66.3% last year. And he was number 11 in total breakaway runs. He had 15 runs of over 15 yards a season ago. So you look at Tennessee, I think the strength of this team is going to be on the back end in that secondary. The interior line, Mike Clay's got ranked number 19, on the edge at number 29. And the linebacker unit, he's got ranked dead last entering the regular season and has a defense in its entirety at number 28 overall. The Bears' offensive line should be damn good. I think they're going to be a borderline top 10 unit this year. And then you got Caleb Williams, and he got all the weapons around him, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, Cole Kmet. That's going to lighten a lot of these fronts, give him some wide running lanes to scoot through. And plus, Caleb Williams, with his rushing ability, will only assist in that endeavor as well. So pull it all together. My number 2 play of week 1, bear down, because I'm going way up and over with DeAndre Swift, 43.5 rush yards against the Titans, minus 115 at BetMGM. Good, sir. Fade or follow.
Easy follow. You already gave all the reasons. Move on.
All right. Slam dunk it home, DeAndre Swift.
Number 1.
I like that. Very strong supportive reasoning. We'll see if we get the same here with my number one play of week number one. It's the ultimate Swiss Army knife, and a guy that does get a little bit of fantasy hype right now, especially if you're paying. And in leagues like Lundy and I, we're in a super flex. Both of us don't have a starting second quarterback, which means we're doomed to fail. So please start Justin Fields. I need you, or Drake May in short order, selfishly on my end. But Taysom Hill, who is a quarterback and a tight end in Yahoo leagues, has some value in those challenging formats, and they has clear-cut value on the over 15.5 rush yards, in my estimation, against the Carolina Panthers there, minus 120 at BetMGM. Truth be told, I grabbed this one at open at 14.5. That's why you see a different number on the always free, always public, always transparent spreadsheet there on the gamingjuice.com. But you look at what Taysom Hill did against his Carolina defense last year. He had his season high in rush attempts and season high in rushing yards against that unit. He went 9 carries for 75 yards. All he needed is 16 here, Lundy. This is kind of giving me like Isaiah Likely vibes to it. We only needed 17.5 to hit the over. Oh, yeah. What did he do? He went well north of the century mark in the opener against the Kansas City Chiefs. I think Hill's going to smash this, which means probably 1 carry for like minus 2 yards. But anyway, 2.91 yards after contact per attempt on over 80 attempts on the ground last year. Now, Carolina's made some upgrades defensively. Mike Clay's got the interior line ranked number 14. Quite respectable there in the NFL, but only number 23 off the edge. Number 9, though, at linebacker. Number 21 overall. Carolina was dead last in EPA per play defense last year, a little bit better in rush EPA, and I think they're going to be kind of middle of the pack in that category, but Hill breaks tackles. If he gets, I think the magic number here, what we need is 5 carries. If he gets 5 carries, just north of 3 yards per carry, entirely doable and cash money, son. So my number one play of week one of the player props market, Taysom Hill. Give me the over. Be a damn mountain. 15.5 rush yards against the Carolina Panthers. Minus 120 at BetMGM. Fade or follow.
I told you I can't follow you on all of them. I'll fade you on this one. This is one.
You don't want to?
I don't want to. I think he's going to be able to do it, but I feel like I just need to fade for the sake of fading. I gotta do something, man. I gotta disagree with you somewhere. Yesterday was so damn profitable, man, that I am really thinking about just not doing anything for like the next 8 hours or so, because yesterday was a gone.
Was it all in baseball or in the NFL?
It was both. It was both. I started off the day with a couple of really nice home run plays. I had it was a good day, Brad. It was a good day. The bank account is ready to be completely depleted over the next 48 hours. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
So, I don't care, folks. Do whatever you want on this one.
Well, Lundy's already faded me. He's on record for that.
Yeah, I think I'm on record for that. I'm also on record for being Matt. God, we were so close on Rashee Rice being the leading receiver last night until that final drive.
Well, that final drive, Isaiah Likely, I looked at it and I thought for sure we were going to have a winner. And then I saw, Likely had that bomb and he turned into a touchdown. And I think I might have mentioned that in passing yesterday at plus 500. I did have a little sprinkle on that. Didn't have that on the spreadsheet. But I felt uneasy after that, knowing what the scoreboard was. But dude's eaten, and he damn near tied the game. The game of inches with that still on the line.
As somebody pointed out on Twitter, if he wore size 10 shoes, that would have been a touchdown. It's just that simple. You want to get to some bonus time because it's
bonus time. I know you got a boatload.
I've got a ton.
So please share.
I've got a ton. I already gave you the plus odds on Schwarber to be able to get things started. Let me get you a couple other baseball things for today, and then we'll get back into the football swing of things. The Rockies continue their road trip. What do? We fade the Rockies and we fade Ryan Feltner. So a couple of ways I'm going to roll with this one. First and foremost, give me Frankie Montas to get the dub in that contest for Milwaukee. So take him to get the win. Because, again, Milwaukee on the money line is like minus 230. I'll take him for the win. That is plus 120 over at DraftKings, 118 at Caesars. Again, it's the Rockies on the road. And so I think the smarter way to be able to play it, if you want a singular play, is to be able to do it like I just said. Now, there's another way that we can play this one. Give me Willie Adames to have a hit against the aforementioned Feltner. He checks out very strongly on batters-box.com. Give me the Brewers on the money line, and then give me the Brewers to score 4 or more runs. One more time, folks, SGP, Rockies, and Brewers. Give me Adames for a hit. Give me the Brewers to score 4 or more, and give me the Brewers on the money line. That is a plus 122 over at DraftKings. Give me Mookie Betts to have a single at 105, plus 105, that is, for the Dodgers this evening. 3 for 10 lifetime. And I can't even remember who the hell the starting pitcher is tonight for Cleveland. I'm drawing a complete blank right now. But he's 3 for 10 lifetime, and they're all 3 singles. That's my point in all of this. So take him for a single. Couple of hits. You want to back it down on Schwarber? Go ahead. Take Schwarber for a hit and put him with Brent Rooker, who is en fuego right now for the Oakland Athletics. So Rooker for a hit, Schwarber for a hit, plus 150. That's a pretty damn good payday for a nice and simple two-legger. I already gave you all the reasons for Schwarber. Let me tell you about Rooker. 364 lifetime against Tariq Skubal. And he's got 16 hits in his last 9 games. He's on a 9-game hitting streak, and he's got 16 of them. So, again, Rooker, Schwarber, plus 150. My 2 favorite home run bets for today, and it's not necessarily like this over-the-top confidence level per se. It's because I think the number is way too freaking high. Jurickson Profar and Bryce Harper are both plus 500 go yard today. Again, the Phillies are on the road against the Marlins. Harper checks out very highly in the advanced analytics in terms of this matchup against Cabrera. And then on Profar, he's back home. He's going up against, hang on a second, because I got to share this with you because it's cracking me up. He's going up against Mason Black for the San Francisco Giants. Okay, get this. Black has given up 5 round trippers in 19 and a third innings.
Wow.
5 home runs, 19 and a third innings. Give me Profar to go yard. And yes, if you've stopped paying attention to baseball, the Padres are at home. Over to the college ranks for tonight, by the way. Give me this one on an alt total. It's minus 101, but I'll play it because it's practically even money. I'm taking the line for SMU down to 6.5. I just need the Mustangs to win by a touchdown. The regular spread, folks, is 11.5. Pulling it down. Give me the Mustangs at home to win it by at least 6.5. And then thankfully for some of the people that are out there, Brad, you would have been able to talk about this. Duke and Northwestern tonight. Northwestern is building a new stadium. Yep. So they're playing at, is it Martin Field? Is that what it's called?
I think it is tonight. They're going to be playing a lot of games at Wrigley later.
Okay, so they're playing at Martin Field, which I learned sits right up against Lake Michigan. Like, you could literally pull out like your driver and hit a ball from the 50-yard line into the lake. Am I right?
Yeah, catch some sturgeon while you're there.
It sits right there. The weather in Chicago is going to blow tonight, and I also mean blow as in the wind. So what I've done, the total is at 37.5. I bumped it all the way up by another touchdown, and I'm playing the under.
Okay.
44.5 under. SMU minus 6.5. So 2 alt lines for you tonight in college football, minus 101 over at DraftKings. All right. Let me go. SGP for tonight in the NFL. Ready?
Yeah.
Green Bay plus 7.5. The total over 40.5. And A.J. Brown to have at least 50 through the air. One more time.
Wow.
Green Bay plus 7.5. The total over 40.5. A.J. Brown, 50 or more receiving yards. That's a plus 104 over at DraftKings. I'm not bothering with some analysis, folks. I'm just rapid fire. Yep. I like Jordan Love to go over 7.5 yards rushing tonight. He did that in 10 of 17 games last year. Minus 120 over at DraftKings. Now looking ahead to Sunday really quickly for you. In the Broncos game, I know you guys rely on me for some plays in the Broncos because I'm sitting here in Denver. I'm actually going to go a little bit off the beaten path. Give me Bo Nix to not throw an interception on Sunday, believe it or not. I don't believe that Sean Payton's going to put him in a bad position. And on top of that, Seattle last year only had 11 picks in the entire season. So I'm going to say they don't get one on Bo Nix, and that's plus odds at Caesars, plus 114. On the defensive side for Denver, yes, I've got a defensive play for you. Give me Jonathan Cooper over a quarter of a sack.
Oh.
This is plus 165.
Wow.
2 reasons why. Cooper led the Broncos in sacks last year with 8.5. Second reason, Geno Smith was sacked 31 times last year. Top sack guy for the Broncos, a dude that finds his way onto his ass all the time for Seattle, and plus 165. Give it to me all day long. And then the last one I will give to you, and the rest will be on the spreadsheet. James Conner, give me the over on 64.5 rush plus receiving.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Folks, shop around. Okay, 64.5 is at Bet Rivers. I happen to not have a Bet Rivers account, but I can tell you that it's 65.5 just about everywhere else. FanDuel, it's 70.
Wow.
So go shop it. Take the over. The Bills last year gave up right around 40 yards per game through the air to the running back position. So look, I'm looking at this way. Can Connor get me 20 to 25 through the air, and then all he's got to do is find me 40 on the ground? Yes, please. Take the over, but like I said, shop it, because I actually saw it. I think I even saw it as low as 63.5.
Wow.
So go shop it, but I think Connor is going to be a Swiss Army knife for Arizona. I know a lot of people are on Arizona plus the points. I'm not going there, but I think Connor is going to be utilized a lot. I need coffee. I yield the floor to the gentleman from Illinois.
Yeah, the Arizona OC came out yesterday and said he is a certifiable James Conner bell cow. Not my words, the OC's words. So, Lundy, I jotted that down here on my cheat sheet. I'm going to place that bet immediately and put it on my always free, always transparent spreadsheet as soon as we wrap here. All right, we got a rapid fire. Run it over. I'm just not going to give you any analysis. So let's go to the team.
I don't care. I know we're supposed to be 30 minutes, but you should see. I have pages of bets in
so
front of
I.
me. Y'all got it. It'll be on the spreadsheet, but just look at these nice faces. Let me look at these guys. They're just fun to look at.
No, we're really not. We're making your face turn to stone, and we apologize for that. But anyway, Team Wavel's parlay play of the daytime SGP. Sunday night football. It's mandatory. Montgomery, you jackals. Give me him for anytime touchdown. Give me Cooper Kupp 5 more catches. Give me Amon St. Brown 6 or more receptions. To recap, Montgomery TD, Kupp 5 or more catches, St. Brown 6 or more catches, plus 200 on that simple Uno Dos Tres 3-legger there at BetMGM. That's a Team Huevos SGP parlay play of week 1 of the NFL. Elsewhere in bonus time, here's what I like in college. Illinois, naturally. ILL. I'm going to be there in attendance. I'm going to take them on the money line plus 185 there at BetMGM. Give me San Diego State plus 6.5 against your Beavers. Lundy, I think Oregon State's going to win, but I don't think they're going to cover the 6.5. That's at a minus 110 juice. A game being played in SoCal. Give me Arkansas. Nate Jacobson at thegamingjuice.com is all over them. So am I at a minus 105 at plus 7.5. And then give me the under and maybe the game of the weekend. Texas go with the big house to take on Michigan. That total is sitting at 42.5. I don't think points are going to be at all plentiful in that one. Going to be a war of attrition. So under 42.5 at a minus 110 juice. Other action I like week 1 of the NFL. Let's go to the Friday night game in Brazil. A.J. Brown, get down, baby. Over on the longest reception, 23.5 yards, minus 115 at DraftKings. In Pittsburgh and Atlanta. SGP style. Give me the Falcons on the goal line plus 7.5, and I'm going to parlay that with a Bijan Robinson anytime touchdown plus 140 is the juice there. Bo Nix. Lundy doesn't like him throwing a pick. I think he's going to run this game. I grab it at 16.5 on rush yards. It's already up to 18.5. I would play it up to 19.5. So again, I am over on the 18.5 at minus 115 there at BetMGM. And my cousin Mike Evans, anytime touchdown. I grabbed it at plus 140 earlier this week. It's come tumbling down to plus 115. He should go off against the Commanders and Michael Davis, who last year gave up 9 touchdowns in coverage, and that is the projected primary assignment for Mike Evans. All right, we're out of breath, and we're way out of time here on the Feed 5 podcast.
Whatever. Your show is at night now.
I know, and I gotta talk for 3 hours every damn night.
Well, I mean, I still think it's okay for week 1. Y'all do us a favor. Put in the comments whether you're okay that we went over or not. I want to know. I'll take a straw poll. Do you need us to shorten it up? Do you have a shorter commute? Are you listening to us on the old subway or the light rail? Just let us know. But I think we're okay going over by 5 minutes. I think everybody will forgive us. Plus, I had to tell the story about the lady with her thong sticking out at the post office.
Oh, yeah, that imagery. Now you just revived it. So thank you very much for that.
Here's a better one. Imagine if it were Brad with the thong sticking out.
Ooh, that's hot and sexy. So try to temper down your libido, me amigos. Drop us a rating or review, please, would you kindly? It's probably going to be a -star review now with that image running through everybody's head. Also, fade or follow us on the X, or try to give it to you. Lundy at Nate Lundy, myself at Noisy Huevos. Go to thegamingjuice.com right now and sign up. Good luck in week 1 of the NFL. Good luck in week 2 of college football. And maybe you're one of those crazies that still has baseball bets that are out there. Until next time, as always, feed or follow. That is up to you. No thongs allowed.